Yeah, my general impression about the month of February is that it has been a beautiful month. It has been a beautiful month, to tell you the truth. And I'm not just saying that it has been a beautiful month for just saying it. I'm saying it has been a beautiful month for a reason. Because in the month of February, I met my desired lover. It is not what you are thinking. It is not what you are thinking. Yes, it is not what you are thinking. What I mean to say is that in the month of February, that beautiful gadget that I have been yearning to have, God blessed me with it, and that is Fine Fine AM8 microphone. In fact, I've been wanting to have this mic for a longer time. But in the month of February, out of kindness of someone, I had it. And so I want to say that it is not wrong to celebrate love in the month of February, even though the celebration of love or expression of love has no particular month to really say this is the month that I need to express love. No, months end, but love does not end. And so I wouldn't say we should have particular month for expression of love, but in any ways it still reminds us that we have an obligation, we have a responsibility to show love to ourselves. As human beings, we will definitely forget sometimes what we need to do, but as we have assigned a month for love, it reminds us, and let's keep on showing love. Let me be quick to add that month end, and so February is ending today, but remember, love does not end because it is life. And so as we show love to people, let's remember that we are giving life. Out of your kindness, out of your patience, all that we do, coming together to show love, come on, it is saving life. And so, I would say that the month of February has been good, and we shouldn't stop loving people. We shouldn't stop loving people. It's a good thing to love. That is what I would say. Misconception about marriage and relationship. I wouldn't say misconception though, because it's not something that is stated for people to accept, but in a way it is what people sometimes think. Yes, people think that marriages or good marriages thrive on the shoulders of perfect people or perfect couples. That is so wrong. That is so wrong, because no two people are perfect. No two people are perfect. What I would say is that marriage thrives when two people decide to make it work. Yes, two people decide to make it work. Note this: the two people who have decided to live together to make marriage work are two imperfect people who have decided to look at the strength of each other to live and also to get to a destination. That is what they have decided, and so they stay committed to it and they're able to make it work. If you're not careful, standing afar, you might think that there are two perfect people. There are no two perfect people in marriage, and nobody is perfect. Let me put it even that way. Nobody is perfect. And let me quick to say this, that in an environment of perfection there isn't even love. Yes, in an environment of perfection there isn't even love. Love doesn't exist in a perfect world. Let me quickly explain that. I know people will not understand. Let me explain that. Imagine if, as I'm sitting here, I am perfect in every way. I don't need anything. I don't need anything from anybody. How can you show me love? Remember, love is an abstract word, and so it emerges when we begin to put activities together towards somebody. That is when the person can appreciate that I'm being loved. And so if I am perfect to the extent I don't need anybody, how would I even experience love from somebody? Let me add this biblical example. You see, our God that we worship is a perfect God, and we are imperfect people. And so he decided to choose us, to make us his own. That is the reason we are able to say that indeed God is so loving, because we look at how perfect He is and we look at how imperfect we are, and He deciding to sacrifice His life to purchase us. We experience that love. Okay, and so imagine we are also perfect people. We don't need God. How would we even experience the love of God? And so, in an environment of perfection, love does not really exist. And so, let's quickly know that there isn't any perfect marriage anywhere, but there isn't any perfect couple anywhere, and good marriages do not rest on the shoulders of two perfect people. No, it rests on the shoulders of two imperfect people who have decided to make things work. Likewise, our relationships. And I think it is the reason most of us are not even in relationship and we have not married, because in our minds we are waiting to meet the perfect person. No, that is the reason most of us, we are still single. And if we had gotten this understanding earlier, I think we'll be married by this time. And the people also watching, I think some of them are also battling with this same thing I'm going to say. You see, in our minds, we think marriage becomes successful when we find the right or perfect person. That is why we are still waiting to find the perfect person to make that perfect decision. But no, that is not so. You make the decision and you make sure that you make the decision perfect. Yes. You make sure that the decision that you have taken becomes a perfect decision, but you don't wait to make a perfect decision. There are two different things. Yes. And so you might be thinking to wait for the perfect person so that you can make a decision. No. Make a decision that you want to settle down. And after making the decision, the person that you are living with, you make sure that you don't regret making that decision by working harder to make that marriage work. God never waited for us to be perfect before choosing us. He chose us and gave us grace to work on ourselves to look like Him. And so that is how marriage and relationship should be. We should make decisions and make sure that the decision that we have taken becomes a good decision by working on ourselves. And so please, let's think about it again and decide on who we want to marry. Then after that, we make sure that we work on our decisions. Yes. Oh, the advice I will give to couples is this. The advice I will give to couples is this, and they should listen, please. Marriage is a culture. Yes. Marriage is a culture. And if I say marriage is a culture, this is what I mean to say. You know, culture is the way of life of a group of people at a particular place. And so, your culture in this area, let's say in Accra, cannot be exactly the same as the culture of the people who live in Cape Coast Central region. There will be differences. But because they understand how their culture works, they embrace it and they appreciate it. And so what I would tell my mothers or the couples is that remember that marriage is a culture. And so the way you and your husband will relate will be different from how Mr. Kwejo and the wife will also relate, and how they express their love will be different from how you and your husband or your partner will also express your love. And so do not compare, because immediately you begin to compare your marriage to someone else's marriage, you begin to think that there is greener pasture somewhere, and if you're not careful, you will leave what you have. Marriage is a culture, and it is different from couples to couples. And so embrace what you have, work at it, and make your marriage becomes a beautiful thing, and let it become an example to others. That is what I would tell my mothers or people who are already in marriage. Relax, work at it. If you find something that you think is a weakness, work at it, help your partner grow, and you would see the beauty of marriage, and you will enjoy it by yourself. And so do not compare your marriage to other people. What you are comparing, and maybe you are eating yourself up because you don't have, they are also looking at yours, and they will be beating themselves up. And so do not bother yourself comparing. Make sure that you improve upon what you have, and I think that will help you enjoy your marriage. Yes. Oh, the advice I will give to the young ones who are yet to marry is this. I would say marriage goes beyond feelings. Yes, marriage goes beyond feelings. That is what I would say we should have in mind. You know, how you feel today, feelings are basically influenced by situations. Okay, and so if you base your marriage on feelings, you will always have problems. Let me put it this way: you don't go to work based on how you feel, you go to work because of the commitment you have with the company. And so we should have in mind that before we get into marriage, marriage is beyond feelings, it is commitment. Okay, and so if you make that decision that I want to settle down with this person, that commitment you should respect. And if you respect that commitment, you will now ask yourself, what can I do daily to make sure that I meet the commitment that I've already made? And what can I do to make sure that I enjoy the commitment that I have made? And that is all marriage is about. And so don't base it on feeling, because today you have good feelings, that chemistry, tomorrow that chemistry will not be there. But because it's a commitment, you will still do everything possible to meet it. If you see marriages and relationships to be like that, we wouldn't have problems. Yes. And so I would say that the month of love is a good thing in summarizing the whole thing. But our love should not end with February. If February ends, it doesn't mean that our love should end. We should keep on loving each other. Let's show love to each other all the time, and let's also learn to improve and add some spices to our relationship and our marriages. And I think as we do so, our marriages will glorify God, because people will look at it and say, yes, these are children of God and their marriages are really working well. Otherwise, the world will keep on laughing at us, especially nowadays that we're experiencing a lot of divorces. Let's pay attention to our partners. Let's learn each other and improve upon what we have now. And I think God will be pleased with us. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for having the opportunity to share my knowledge about this subject to the larger people. Thank you so much. God bless you.